Okay, so Mom found a letter that I had written to Nike back in, when was this?
March 23rd, 1993.
1993. Okay, read the letter and see what it says.
Okay.
You gotta speak up now.
And he wrote this letter because it was so hard for him to find shoes his size because he got such a big foot. Okay, so
I was up to size 15, I think.
well, whenever he turned 10 years old, he wore size 10. When he turned 11, he wore 11. When he turned 12, he wore 12. When he turned 13, he wore 13. When he turned 14, he wore 14. When he turned 15, he wore 15. That was whenever it stopped.
I thought he wears a 16 now.
No. And then we had a store in Pensacola called Gapers. Y'all remember Gapers?
Yeah, I remember Gapers.
That's the only place that I could find shoes his size. So when I went to Gapers, if they had a size 15, I don't care what it looked like, I bought it. Okay, so he ended up writing this
It was
letter.
always the ones I didn't want. It was the Bobo Nikes.
But they fit. So he ended up in March 23rd, 1993, writing this letter to Nike. Okay, so, dear Nike products, my name is Adam Booth. I've been wearing your products for about a year, and I have to say you have some pretty awesome stuff. But I was wondering, why do you put your prices so high?
Yeah.
I've seen, and he wasn't paid for them. I was paid for them.
But you always complain because they were $100 in fees.
I've seen some shoes at other shoe stores that are just like yours, but cheaper. And another thing I was going to mention is that you need to send a lot more shoes in sizes 14, 15, 16, and 17, and 18.
I'm looking out for the other guys
Around
too.
the Pensacola, yeah, around the Pensacola area, because he was saying in high school, because there's so many people, there was even a guy in football that had a size 17 shoe, okay, in the Pensacola area. I'm 13, he wore size 13 at the time,
Keep looking at us.
and I wear a size 13, and I'm going on 13 and a half. Just about all the stores with Nike products have only up to size 13. And there's a lot more people who have a big foot too. Well, I have to go now, but please do something about this. Sincerely, Adam Booth.
Please do something about this.
National crisis.
Why didn't they do anything about it?
And they still haven't done anything
Because
about
Mama
it.
kept the letter. Mama kept the letter.
Why didn't you send it? Why didn't you mail
Because
it?
I wanted to keep it. I don't know why I wanted to keep it, but I did. I just
Copy
thought,
of it and send his letter.
but I just thought it was such a funny letter that I wanted to keep it. I didn't know if we didn't even have a copy of them. In '93, I don't think we had a copy.
I don't even think we had a computer.
No, we didn't have a computer.
Yes, we did, 'cause that's
Here's
when I
the
was
come out
in-
in '96.
Yeah, we had a computer. When I was in high school, we had a computer.
Okay, well we
This was
did.
93 though.
It was 93. Well, I guess I didn't have sense enough to make a copy
We
and
did.
send
We
it.
had a computer.
I didn't have the address. Okay, I didn't have the address.
All right.
There wasn't Google back then to find it.
You just thought it was
I didn't
funny.
know how to Google.
There was no Google
There was no
back
Google.
then.
Oh, okay, there was no Google. Okay, all right.
Smartphones.
End of story.
Well, I can't believe you still got that letter, man. I vaguely remember writing that because that's whenever I started wearing those Nike shoes and I couldn't ever find them in my size, and I was getting upset about it.
He was.
What size do you wear now?
15.
15.
Yeah.
He
Is
stopped
it still hard to find shoes?
at age
Oh, yeah.
15. He stopped at size 15.
Even on Amazon it's tough because they never have the ones that I want. They have the Bobo Nikes in size 15.
Right.
But the cool ones that all the cool kids get to wear, they have their sizes.
Oh yeah, because they're less than size 15.
What was
Yeah.
that one magazine that I always remember used to come out? It was E something.
Eastman?
Eastman, yeah.
It
Remember
was
that?
Eastman, yeah.
It had the catalog with all the different shoes in there.
Yeah, I remember looking at that.
You
Wonder
would
if
think
they
with
have
all
some.
the like the basketball players and the athletes.
I
Yeah,
know it.
yeah, it had all the baseball.
That designed their own shoes that they went to.
Like Jordan. Michael Jordan.
All right, well, I guess we'll sign off.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing the story
Merry
with
Christmas.
us. Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Show them your shirt.
What?
Keep calm. I have gifts.
I got the gifts.
You did. Yeah. She had a lot of cakes too.
Oh.
Some of them are gone now.
Take that lemon down.
Lemon,
Oh, take it home.
So I've got one small machining op that we're going to do, and we're going to use the Kearney Trekker. I've got the horizontal set up, ready to go, and these two right here I showed a few episodes back in SNS. These are two screws that were made by Jeff Derstine up in Pennsylvania, and he's on YouTube as JRD77 Vet, very avid commenter on every video that I ever posted. And these are some screws that he made for the Monarch. Okay, the Monarch lathe on the tailstock quill, there's two tapped holes on 180 degrees apart on the quill, and these are what's missing out of there. I don't know why they were removed, but these are what go in those holes, and they install there. And then whenever you install your taper shank drill, the tang on the end of the drill, the flat, is what goes up between these, and these will keep that drill from spinning in your quill. Okay, so I've showed you before in the past I've had problems with the drills wanting to spin, you know, the bigger drills, because there's so much pressure on it that they try to spin in your taper, which you don't want. So Jeff, he wanted to make these for me, and these are an odd size. I think these are a custom size that Monarch made. 11/16 is the OD, I believe. Yeah, 11/16, and I should have grabbed my thread pitch gauge, but I believe these are 16 pitch. But so the only thing that I need to do is put a slot in the end of them there for a screwdriver. So we'll use one of our new Wera flathead screwdrivers right here that Philip Schaefer had given me, and we'll put us a slot there in the end of it. All right, so I'm going to use a 5/8 5C collet and a collet block, and that's turned to a 5/8 diameter here. It's a reduced diameter. I'm going to stick that in there just like that, and I'll tighten this up using my spanner wrench, and we'll set it over there in the vise. We'll stand it up, and then we'll just run the cutter right across the pretty simple and easy. So let's go over there and set it up. All right, we're going to set it in here in the vise just like so, and I'm using this small machinist square just to check it and see how square it is. And it's going to be right there where we need it. We got just a little bit of a kick to do, so I'm going to go ahead and run this in just to touch it. All right, so that should be pretty square. I'm going to go ahead and snug the vise up. All right, we're going to run up and just touch the side of these threads right here. It will rub it. So I've already calculated half the thickness of this and half the thickness of the cutter. That cutter is 72 thousandths wide. It's kind of an odd size, but it worked out real good for a screwdriver slot. So we'll run up next to it and find our center. All right, we're ready to touch it off. I'll come up and just touch that. Okay. I'm going to set my digital readout to 0. We're going to move it over 374. Okay, and that should should be putting this right there in the center. Pretty good. Alright, we're going to start her up again. Touch off on our Z axis. Zero out the Y there, and let's see, I think I'll make it a 16th deep, or we'll go ahead and match it 72. All right, and I need to double check and make sure that I tighten this arbor nut real quick. Okay. That was it. Oh yeah, that should work fine right there. And if needed, this one's broke off and ground, but I got some other bigger screwdrivers if I need to. But I think this one will work out good right here. Okay. All right, let me change this thing out. We'll do one more. Just showing you how I'd tighten it up there. Okay, there we have number 2. So I got you sitting on the Monarch tailstock, and this is the quill. So here's one of the holes that we're talking about, and then there's one on the opposite side, 180 degrees out. I've run this little brush through there to hopefully clean out any little chips or dust that's been collecting them on both of them. Let's see if they fit. A little bit snug. No, I don't think it's gonna go. I might have to set these up and chase the threads a little bit. It seems a little tight. That is a close fit on them. Let me try this bottom one and see how it does. I didn't even think about it. That's going to be a kind of an awkward position right there. I don't know if it's the threads. I think it's the I think it's going to be the undercut. That's what it feels like to me. I think it's getting through and it's bottoming out there. Because the threads don't go all the way through. They only go down to a certain point and stop. I don't know yet. Let me fiddle around with this for a minute and see if I can figure out what exactly is going on. So I decided to go ahead and just take the quill out of the tailstock. It's just a lot easier to work with over here and try to get these screws fitted. So there's a good look at the quill and the hole on each side. And I've been playing with these, trying to figure out what exactly it is I need to do. I haven't really gone in there and taken any ID measurements, but I can feel that this is very, very close. Okay, I mean, it's really close. You got to kind of get those threads in line. So there's a couple things I need to do. This reduced diameter here, that's 5/8, I need to turn, let's say, 5 thousandths off of that. That way it gives it a little bit more clearance to go up in that hole, and it's not having to line up on those threads. Okay, you see. And the other thing I'm going to have to do, one of these, I believe it's this one, I'm going to have to probably chase that thread just slightly. One of these will screw nearly all the way in there. Let's see if it's if I can get this one here. It'll screw nearly all the way in there, and then once it does, it actually bottoms out and can't go any further. So I already know I'm going to have to take some of that off. Yeah, so this is it right here. Okay, right there, that's bottomed out. So you can see that obviously will not work right there. We're gonna have to take a little bit. What I'll do is I'll machine some of the thread off so that will go underneath the surface and be flush, all right? And there may have to be some adjustments made on as far as the tang fitting, okay? So I'm gonna try to make this so that it'll screw in there further. But this one gets tight, and I believe it's getting tight on the thread itself. It's such a close fit. See, like right there, it's not wanting to go in there any further. So I'm going to do a little bit of a modification on these, and I'll show you. We're going to use the collet chuck over here on the Victor, and just kind of fine tune these things to where they fit, okay? So I'm chucked up on the 5/8 diameter, and we're going to move that thread back. We're going to start with 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to check it. We might need to go another 1/8. think it's going to start right about there. All right. I'll use this mag base indicator here. Okay. Now what I'll do is just get a little file. I need to find me a little file and file that lead edge right there. Not wanting to cooperate very well. There it is. Okay. Okay, so here's the one that we just turned 1/8 of an inch back on the threads. Okay. All right, that's doing good. It's going up inside there. There it is, bottomed out. So I went ahead and grabbed the drill because I wanted to see if it'll fit. I'm going to back that out a little bit. There it is. Okay. That's perfect right there, man. And you could adjust this just a little bit. All right. So let me go ahead and let's do this side. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to set it up, and we're going to skin the threads back a little and see if that'll allow it to go in there like it should. Okay. All right, so it's the second one. I come over here after the cut you just watched and tried it, and it was still hanging out just a little bit. So I set it back up and I turned back one more 1/16 back. Okay, so let's try it now, and I think that this is going to work out to how we need it. And what I figured out what was going on was one side is threaded a little bit deeper than the other. So that's why one of these screws was hanging out more than the other. And well, I'm having to turn one back a little further. So I think the 5/8 reduced diameter is fine. Okay, so that's going in there. And it's underneath the outer diameter here. So let's see if the tang of this drill almost, man, it's right there. That's all it needed, just a little bit of adjustment. That's it. That will work. Okay. There we go. All right, Jeff, you did good, man. I really appreciate the screws, and it just took a little minor tweaking on my end to get these things to fit, and we're good to go. So one more thing that I would like to do, we're going to do that on another episode though, is I need to set this thing up, and we need to face a little bit off the end right here, you know, at least say a 1/16 of an inch, about 60 thousandths, and allow the taper. You know, I was noticing this drill right here is the same way. It's going up all the way to the end of the taper there, like so, okay? And it's getting tight, but it's right there. So a quick fix for that is to remove a little bit of this face right here so that it'll go further down in there. It'll go in the taper and it won't shoulder out here on the drill bits. So we'll do that in another episode. And that's going to be it for this week for our machining. And I hope you enjoyed. And thanks again, Jeff, for the cool screws there for the Monarch, man. I appreciate it. So we haven't done a flea market score segment in quite a while now, and I kind of forgot that I had this sitting over on the bench while I was editing my video. So I figured I'd go ahead and throw this in there real quick just to show you guys. But anyway, this is a Kennedy toolbox that I bought I think 2 weekends ago or 3 weekends ago at the flea market, and I paid $15 for it just as it is. It does have a messed up lock right here. I'm assuming it was locked and somebody lost the key to it, but that's no big deal. The toolbox is still plenty usable. It does have the cover here that works. You know, you can snap it in right there. So there it is. It's got a few tools in it, which was a nice little bonus. Not really too much to speak of other than some pretty good files that a few of these look brand new that they haven't really been used. There's a couple file handles right there, so that's cool. There's some other random tools in here. There's another file. There's another file. Okay. There's a center punch in there. Some kind of ease out. All right, so and we got, this is a handy little saw to have right there. All right, so that's what was in there. 3 drawers, and there's a brand new line level. Some little tiny wrenches. Hey, look at that! Look at that little hammer, Tom. That looks almost like the ones that we were building a couple years ago there. Okay, some screwdrivers, some pliers. These are just your dividers for the drawers right there. But you see it's clean. All right, and then one more drawer. We got a chisel down there. What is this? Let's see if it's a H. I can't make out. It's got a mark on it. H something tool. Some screwdrivers and some rivets. All right, so there we go. That was our $15 flea market score. As I had said, if you guys follow me on Facebook, you know, whenever I come across this kind of stuff, I'll throw it up on the Facebook channel and just kind of share that. But you know, I was walking by and I seen this thing sitting there, and so I asked the seller, I was like, what do you want for the Kennedy? And he looked at it and thought about it, and he goes, 15 bucks. I'm like, okay, I'll give you 15 bucks for it because I think it's well worth that. So there it is, man.